Right now, the market is so saturated with people who want to be famous or people that want to make money. And it's actually really hard to make money, much more harder than it used to be and harder than people think. So I want your advice for people listening and watching, people that are in it as a creator, as a ex-reality star, current reality star. Where do you think the money is? Is it being on these random one-off shows? Is it finding your niche in content creation? Is it doing something different, like going back to school and figuring out a new path? Is it what you did? You're selling crystals. I mean, I don't know. What do you think is the path for people to, where's the money in the future?
The one thing that I always go back to, like my heart and spirit, and something that I wish I did more, and I know it creates success with regardless of whatever you're gonna do, is consistency. If you're consistent in every single day for a year, you're posting 3 YouTube reels, a vlog a week, and you're just like, and that's if you look at all these big dog heavy hitters like the Mr. Beast and everything, they never gave up. And so many things I've done where I give up, like I did reels for a while and I'm like, oh, I'm not making money, and I stop. You can't stop. So if you want to be, a content creator, it's about just not giving up, consistency, adapting. You have to be on every platform. You can't just be Facebook person or just a Snapchat, but you have to be everywhere. And again, it's not an easy way out. Being an influencer is a full-time job. So if it's your like, oh, I'm going to get the easy dollar, like Alex Earl probably works harder than, this is a hot take, than maybe a brain surgeon. Like once a brain surgeon's got his thing down, he's got his patient, he goes to work, he fixes the brain, stitches it back up, maybe he's dead at the golf course. Somebody like Alex Earl is on 24/7. That hustle she's doing, and I respect her, and I'm like, she's my like talisman of like hustle right now. I look at her, I'm like, good, because I watched Alex Earl come up at like 300,000 followers on TikTok because people were like posting like, this girl's so good at Miami, look at her hustle. So I started following at 300,000. I've watched her go to what, 7 mil. So
Yeah.
like I watched that formula of, so and then with TV, good luck. Good luck getting on a show. If you can get on a show, doesn't matter what the money is. Now there's way less money in TV. So if you want to be on a TV show and you get an opportunity, you go on the show, whether it's F-Boy Island, Love Island, Love is Blind, The Challenge, whatever show you can get on. Because the show that I recently just did, I was talking to people that weren't, that the level of casting that goes out and how many times, and people get casted for a show and then the day before they get called and they don't want them. And so if you want to be on a show, you take any show you can get. And that's pretty much where I'm at. I'll do almost any show as long, I got to get paid. But
right. But don't you think now it is important that if you're going to go on a show, have something that you can ride on the coattails of that after, whether it's you're going to write a book or you're going to have a product to sell or something, so that your career doesn't end there? Don't you think it's important now?
I would never expect you go on a show and you're going to have a career, whether it's you got the best lip gloss, you're going to hustle after. So that mindset is, to me, I wouldn't even put that pressure. I would just go and be my most authentic self on a show, try to do really well on it. And if opportunities come from it, but to like plan like, oh, I'm going to go on the show and then I'm going to be able to do this and sell, like, good luck.
Okay.
The way these algorithms work now is if they think you have a product you're selling, they are, I know shadow banning, it's a weird word. They are muting your content unless you do paid ads. It knows if it's ad and they want you to boost that post. So this world of where you can like hustle, like I know because I was making hundreds of thousands of dollars as a small business before these apps made you, if it had a swipe up link, it wasn't a thing. All of a sudden, second you put a swipe up link in your story, these algorithms know you're now selling something, you're taking them away. You're not getting any of your viewership. So I watched my crazy successful business from social media, like you can be a small business on social media, to now I'm having to pay $50,000 a month in ads to make that $50,000 back.
Yeah.
So
you said that you do not watch much reality TV. What do you watch? What are your favorite shows?
like right now I'm watching Jake Gyllenhaal taking off his shirt a lot and swimming in Presumed Innocence
I
on
love
Apple
that.
Plus.
I'm fully caught up. My favorite show.
So yeah, I'm watching that. Before that, I mean, I watched shout out Jeremy Renner for surviving his tractor death. I watch Mayor of Kingston. You know, I watch all the like. I watch Yellowstone. I watch anything that's got clout, like
So
big dog.
substance. Okay.
No, like super famous people.
Oh. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
But so do you like true crime? You're watching Presumed Innocent. Do you like that kind of thing?
I mean, I love Jake Gyllenhaal. I knew Jake Gyllenhaal before he was famous. You know, he actually, I tell the story all the time. When I met Jake Gyllenhaal back in high school on Martha's Vineyard, he was a singer. He was going to be like, he had a guitar, and this was like the next big singer. All of us, like young teens, were like watching him by the fire. And I was like, oh, this guy's going to be a rock star. And
Right.
then now I'm like, you know, we knew each other.
Right.
But yeah, no, I love that show. It's good. But I watch, you know, I watch reality shows too. I mean, I watch Beverly Hills Housewives. Everything kind of fell off. Everyone's a little, I don't know. Everyone's more thirsty than Spencer Pratt now, and it's a
Right.
little,
Right. Daunting.
yeah.
Do you ever follow like reality, I mean, real true crime? Like, are you watching the Alec Baldwin case?
I'm currently following the YSL Rico case, the
Okay.
Young Thug case. I've watched almost every day of the 100 court days on
Okay.
TikTok. So I'm very caught up in that right now.
Okay.
I'm
Are you
looking.
caught up on the Karen Reed trial? I mean, I know you're on the other coast. Are you even following that?
No.
Okay.
I've seen, well, no.
The
She
woman that
got,
ran
she
over her.
got off though, right?
It was a hung trial, hung jury. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
is Karen Reed the one that ran
She's
those?
she's the one that ran. No, I know what you're going to say. The
Uh,
woman who ran over the two kids. It's the
uh,
woman in Boston who was accused of killing her boyfriend by rolling over him in the car. But her side claims it was a cover up with the police department. So she just
Woo,
it was a very big case. You should
in
watch.
that, I don't know this case, and this is something that I tell Heidi all the time because it's a weird thing. I tell my kids this: never walk in front or behind a car close enough where they can run you over because you get distracted. And so I'm just saying, you know, reasonable doubt here.
Right.
This is a thing. If you ask Heidi, like, what does Spencer say? Like, if you get out of a car, I'd be like, oh, make sure you like hit the hood, walk, because it's just like you just start to
Good
go. It's a
advice.
weird habit. So I'm already that case. If I was a defense attorney, there is a gray area of where accidents happen and you could run over your
Okay.
maybe cheating boyfriend.
Right, right, exactly. Are you following the puffy thing? You know what I think is interesting is I've seen Heidi's name come up recently
With the
regarding
Dr.
the
Frank
doctor.
Ryan.
Yeah.
Here, this to me, that was one of the best, obviously the worst things I've ever heard in my life. Best thing that ever happened to my brain. Because when that happened, I was convinced, Heidi and I, that Dr. Frank Ryan was murdered. And maybe we were connected because Heidi's lawyer was also, in my mind, murdered the week before. So her lawyer is murdered, her plastic surgeon is murdered, and we're out of Malibu. We fly to Costa Rica to like get out, like someone coming for us next. So I always thought I was maybe insane thinking there was a conspiracy because I knew Dr. Frank Ryan would never text and drive. That was the initial thing they said why he
Right.
drove off that cliff. And then I know his personality so well. We spent so much time with him, obviously. He would never do that. And then the evidence came out with the phone records that he wasn't texting and driving. The guy was so switched on. And that was not a new road. That's where his Bony Pony Ranch was.
Yeah.
There's no way he's just
And his dog was in the car, his beloved dog.
yeah, there's no way. So once I saw this case that, you know, he made Diddy in the court documents, again, it's not alleged. In these court documents, it says that Diddy made Dr. Frank Ryan take the implants out immediately after she came to, which was so dangerous, risked her life.
Mhm.
And I'm sure there's more to that where he then threatened, you know, this is now my true crime alleged conspiracy. Again, no facts here. I don't know. It's imagination. He threatened Dr. Frank Ryan. Dr. Frank Ryan like did whatever happened, and then he was gonna go to the police, or whatever. And now one of these goons, whatever, hitman, bad guys, ran him off the road, maybe to scare him. Maybe they weren't trying to kill him. They thought he just hit the rocks, maybe, and they realized, because the dog didn't die. So it makes you think maybe he just hit his head, because it was an open top Jeep and it wasn't enough to kill somebody, but to scare him. Right. So maybe it wasn't a full, but then you also hear in the court documents that the Kid Cudi said that he blew up a car in front of that driveway. So he's got a guy that can blow up cars. That sounds like Ray Donovan ×2. That's Sopranos level. So
yeah, I don't think we're done hearing the end of the P. Diddy stuff until someone finally puts him in jail.
But yes, that made me think like, okay, I'm not insane.
Right. Okay. So I know we're running out of time. I want to get into your current projects. I know that, Heidi has a big song out that you're promoting all over your Instagram, which is a pretty good song, by the way.
Oh, it's a smash hit. Thank you. The guy that made it, Lil Aaron and Atlanta Grandma, these guys are like beyond big time. Like you Google them, hits. These aren't like Joe Schmo didn't make. This is a smash record. If this was, the old days and we had a label pushing this with $90 million of marketing, we'd have the #1 song of the summer, but it's a new game. So the reason why we're doing music is a great story. So Heidi and I'm talking fast, everyone, because what we're doing next and my little notifications coming up is we have a pitch with Peacock to sell the Heidi and Spencer show. So God willing, this is the podcast that was before we sold our reality show, and it will be part of history.
Right.
But so Heidi's music, we did it back in the day. We spent like $3 million of our own reality TV money. We lost the focus of being reality stars, which we always regretted because we were going into the studio. We were hiring the most famous writers, mixers, engineers, masters, producers to make the best pop album ever. And then when we dropped it, it was the same week Heidi's People magazine plastic surgery cover came out, completely washed out the album, murked out anybody talking about the music. So we sabotaged ourselves, and it was a very hard, thing that we regretted for the last almost, it's gonna be 15 years, January 10th this year. And then the last year, Heidi's album became a pop cult classic. She's averaging between 1 million and 1.2 million monthly listeners on Spotify a month, which is bigger than the like up and coming hot pop stars that are young, out here grinding. And, in China, her song I'll Do It did 4 billion streams. On TikTok, 3 billion streams. With TikTok Creates, got up to 670,000 creates, where 670,000 people made a TikTok with Heidi's song. So we're like, oh my God, one second, producer on a podcast. I thought we have a few minutes, right? All right, let me pause the podcast. Text me. Oh, wow, it's 2 minutes. Whoa.
I know, 2 minutes.
So, so then we're like, we need to make a new album. So now we're back. We got 18 new songs, the new one, Wet Hot Summer. We can do a part 2 to this. It's so unfortunate this podcast got rushed. I usually like the podcast for like 4 hours.
No, that's fine. So just we'll do it again. Just tell people where they can find the song, find you.
Spotify, Apple Music, Deezer, Amazon Music. Who else has music? Pandora. What's the thing anything you can play music on.
Okay, and where can people find your son's YouTube when that comes out?
Oh, we'll talk about it on part 2. We'll talk about it on part 2.
Okay.
So it's great to meet you for the first time. I'll find out who that imposter was.
Okay.
She was very nice though, so it was not it's been a negative experience.
And lastly, I just want to say I think you should have another career, because you have like 15 careers in managing people, because I think people would hire you. You know everyone, you're good to get them on all sorts of things or figure out their brand. I know you don't want to do it, but I think you should.
I know.
And I would be the first one to hire you, Spencer.
I got to make myself famous first, which is a full-time job.
Good luck to you. I can't wait to hear what happens.
If you're ever in LA, specifically the Palisades, let's do Angelini. We can have the green pasta. It's delicious.
I would love that. Thank you. Say hi to Heidi.
Can I just hit leave? Am I good?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Bye.